Three words: smart, caring, and a workaholic. I was a senior in high school, and a girlfriend of mine had a date with one of the boys that had graduated the year before, Marlon Perry. And a friend of his needed a date to go to a movie on New Year's Eve. Was I interested? And I said, sure, I'd love to go. And I learned that the reason I was selected was because when Duane came home from the Army and was friends with Marlon Perry, he looked in Marlon Perry's Olympus High yearbook and found me and said, now, do you know her? And Marlon said, yes, she's a friend of the girl I'm taking. So they arranged through Barbara Ferris that I would go on this date with Duane. Oh my goodness. This boy was so handsome. Dark hair, yellow button-down shirt, and I was immediately in love with this Duane Cardall.
How has being married to him shaped your life?
Well, I learned something in the last few months when I fell and broke my kneecap. I knew that I'd always had a kind and caring partner, but I saw goodness, kindness, and love come out of this man that I hadn't seen before. He's always been wonderful, but I saw such a caring and compassion and worry about me that I hadn't seen before. Now he knows he's driving me a little crazy now because he doesn't want me to fall again. But of course I have, and I do. And I'm trying to be very careful to watch my steps because falling isn't any fun. He's quite shy. And there are days that I'm quite annoying because I've scheduled lunch with someone, or I've scheduled a dinner, or we're going to the play, or this or that. But he knows it's always so fun. Like today, we have a couple in our ward who are our ministers. And we know that we want them to feel that we love them and being with them as much as we feel about the two families that we're ministers to. And we went to lunch today, and what a delight. It was so fun. And they had 100 questions for him. But the comments and everything that came out of this, we got in the car after and I said, how was that? Oh, that was great. And I knew it would be, and it is every time. But he knows he's got a lot of work to do around here, particularly getting the gardens ready now. And a lot of genealogy to get on top of. And I interrupt the day by making sure that we're going to lunch with friends. And every single time, he loves it. When you ask me that question, I have to go immediately to our missions. Because Washington, D.C., we learn things about each other that we just absolutely cherish. And then if you can imagine to be home 6 weeks and to be called to London, what I love everything British. And then to have the opportunity of serving there with the people that we served, the 2 mission presidents and their wives, the stake president, who is now a general authority, and just the quality of these British saints, and I should say the fancy and the not fancy, was just such a, we know it was a gift to us because we had to give up our son. I hate to say, no, we don't laugh a lot, but we just went to a play at Hale Theater, Prince of Egypt. Now you would think it would be a spiritual production, but they not only stopped it for intermission, they stopped it 2 other times and didn't tell the audience at all what was going on. And we learned after that the lead kept getting nosebleeds. And on the way to the car, we were laughing so hard about, oh my goodness, just what are the chances that's going to happen? Anyway, we laughed about that night. He's always been strong and wanting to be the leader of this family, and being raised in the conditions that he was raised in. I know that he was so grateful to be the son-in-law of my father, and the unity that the Alan W. Layton family has. And I think that he really tried to be the best that he could be. I think the kids would all say he was way too strict and they didn't need a patch to weed, but I think he wishes now he had each one of you here to help him with the weeding. But he wanted what was best for the family, and it was difficult at times to meet the needs of all of our kids and everything on this journalist's salary. But we had the conversation the other night about how I asked him how he felt about his time at KSL. And even though I know that he was not necessarily paid what they do nowadays, but he knows and I know that this was where he needed to be, and the blessings that it was to us as a family, even if it was indirectly, because he was having an incredible opportunity to share about really good, positive things that were happening. I still marvel at the Christmas when the cantor from the Greek Orthodox Church came to our home with Greek pastries because he wanted Duane to be thanked for their friendship. And I think he, even in his shy way, he had such a blessing of interacting with people and just really trying hard always to do his best. I laughed the one time Mother said to me, "My goodness, what is Duane doing out in the street in front of the city and county building? It's pouring snow and they're splashing mud all over him." And I said, "Mother, when you're called on an assignment, you do it, don't you?" And she said, "Absolutely, you do." I know from the time I was just little that the Spirit spoke to me. And I've had enough experiences personally with gifts from the Lord that have really blessed my life. But the fact that I have a companion that loves the Lord and knows that both of us together are stronger as we support and help each other in our beliefs. We've had challenges. We've had disappointments from people, just like anybody else does. But I choose to stick, as far as I know, deep in my heart. This is the gospel of Jesus Christ, and I want to be cheering on his side. Well, I hear many mornings, "I am so old." Yes, you are. You're old and I'm right behind you. But I think if I get you a new driver, you're going to be a happy golfer. And that will be worth its weight in gold. So happy birthday, sweetheart.